Hi everyone, I'm Vivi, and let's talk about something different this time. So, The Bear and the Bird got announced for Smash Ultimate. After years, we finally get to see Banjo and Kazooie brought back to the light with their old designs. Yep, we ain't looking at bolts, nuts, cars, you know that thing. Hey, the first time I saw Banjo Kazooie in that art style, I wasn't sure what to think. I'd always imagined they'd reuse the old designs and simply remake them in a new engine. You know, a la Spyro and Crash Bandicoot we have today as remakes. I'm guessing that old mindset of mine came to life with the announced Banjo for Smash. This is what I pictured Banjo Kazooie to look like in glorious HD. Seeing these two like this, I got all teary-eyed. It's Banjo Kazooie. I know I don't cover Banjo Kazooie on the channel, but this game was part of my childhood. I played 1 and 2 countless times. I'm not kidding. Like a lot and a lot. So with that, what does Banjo Kazooie on the Nintendo Switch mean for the future of the series? I'm sure a few of you had this question in mind. Oh, Banjo got announced for Smash? This could mean maybe a new game in the future or something like that? I mean, look, Banjo being in Smash perhaps means absolutely nothing. As many years have gone by, we've been disappointed over and over again. Rumors every single year, you know, at a potential new game. Which many longtime fans call it Banjo-tooie, what Grunty teased at the end of Banjo-tooie, which never happened. There's been rumors about Banjo returning, dating back to year 2013, folks. There's this Reddit post if you don't believe me. I'll leave the link in the description below. Every E3, we end up being disappointed at the lack of Banjo. This year was no different, but we at least got something, and it's fantastic. Banjo for Smash. I mean, some were expecting a new Banjo game, you know, because of the sudden wave of merchandise. Exquisite, a gaming company based in the UK, shared this on June 1st. Stubbins was promoting their company for E3 using a Banjo Stubbins plush. It's hard to find it these days. Now, not everyone, of course, was expecting a new game, but some were. Now, the other part would be the Smash tease, which ultimately was the case, we can believe. And that's basically what I thought when people were getting all hyped up about the situation. Fun fact, head of Xbox Phil Spencer was always looking forward to the inclusion of Banjo Kazooie in Smash. There's a tweet from 2015 and 2018, he makes it clear. Beanstalk, a brand management team, showed Banjo Kazooie among a list of franchises. Shinobi, who was known apparently as a good leaker, hinted at Banjo in Smash. So there we go. I could go over a few more. Rumors, you know, all that type of stuff, but you know, we get it. So Vivi, does Banjo in Smash mean we're getting a new game? Long story short, no, in my opinion, but it's possible. I understand Banjo Kazooie logo is present by Beanstalk, but really that brand management company could simply be for merchandise. Instances when a character gets added to Smash, by the way, we shouldn't immediately get hyped up about a potential new game for said character. Does Xbox hate the idea of a new potential Banjo game? It doesn't seem like that, okay? Back in 2015, director Ken Loeb of Microsoft Studios said this, although old, but it's interesting. Will there ever be another Banjo, Viva, Blast Corps, Battletoads? Yeah, someday. We know there's value. We have a lot of passion internally for each of the games, and we have surprises in store in the near and long future. By the way, there is a new Battletoads game in the works by the original team of Banjo Kazooie, Rare, who's still owned by Microsoft. They've been under Microsoft for many years now. We'll get back to Rareware later. So 4 years later, Banjo announced for Smash. We didn't get a new game, but it got included in Smash. Is that what they were planning from the get-go? We don't know. We can't tell. Maybe they had thought of an actual new Banjo game. You know, different than nuts and bolts. But the company probably thought of different scenarios, different situations, you know, internal changes. We're not entirely sure what was going on in their minds in 2015. In 2018, Rareware's Craig Duncan said he's open to the idea of their old IPs being used, meaning they wouldn't mind seeing a team use their IP and make a game. Banjo Kazooie is an IP owned by Rare under Microsoft, don't forget. Banjo was always owned by Rare, although published by Nintendo back in the day. And talking about Nintendo, well, their relationship with Microsoft is something worth considering. Here's what Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, had to say. Obviously, we're one of the biggest third-party publishers on Switch, so we have great relationships with their third-party team. And you've seen the ambition they've had with every character that's ever been in Smash and even more. So it's just kind of part of their partnership relationship we have with them. Not only that, Minecraft for example, as well as Cuphead, later got announced for Nintendo Switch. I'm bringing these up because if we get a new Banjo game in some unknown future, we could expect it to launch on Nintendo, knowing Xbox at this point. PS4, I mean, it depends of their relationship with Sony, and I'm not too sure about that one. By the way, the remastered Spiral Mountain theme you hear in the announcement trailer for Banjo for Smash? Well, it was done by the legendary Grant Kirkhope himself. He wasn't expecting Nintendo to contact him for banjo music. He thought the themes were only remastered, you know, by Japanese composers. He thought it was unusual that he was contacted. I mean, if anything, he imagined contact for Rabbid Peach, which is something he did work on as well in the past. Now, before the Spiral Mountain theme, he thought of Freezeezy Peak, Mad Monster Mansion, and Treasure Trove Cove. He finally chose Spiral Mountain as it's the most recognizable, or memorable if you want to use that word. And then a coincidence happened? He later realizes the map in Smash would be actual Spiral Mountain, with a mix of references to other levels. That's what Nintendo Japan told him. Now, some of the old crew, like character designer Steve Mayles, Chris Sutherland, lead programmer, they're all happy, obviously. They shared their feelings on having Banjo in Smash. It's wonderful to see Banjo and Kazooie return after 11 years in gaming wilderness, and back to their spiritual home on Nintendo console no less, said Mayles. Now, seeing Spiral Mountain in this engine, I wanna cry. This game, I spent probably 1,000 hours as a kid. I've played Banjo Kazooie so much that half of the sticker is gone. You know, inserting it, removing it, inserting it, over and over again. Like, I kept fighting Grunty, just for the heck of it, over and over and over again. I can already hear Spiral Mountain themes switching. You know, looking at this part right here, if you've played Banjo Kazooie, you know what I'm talking about. The whole tone switching to, you know, entering Grunty's lair. Grant Kirkhope, who also composed for successful Kickstarter Ukulele, had something to say about the potential idea of a new Banjo game. I don't think Rare has the appetite for it. I don't think they believe it would sell, and even in my mind I'm not sure. It's easy to get wrapped up in my Twitter feed, but that's just a tiny audience in comparison. A lot of Rare employees from back in the day did work on Ukulele, by the way, fun fact. The Rare we have now is not the same, obviously. I understand a bit of his statement, but don't fully agree with it. I could understand the fear of negative feedback on a new Banjo game, but the part about not selling well, I mean, you have to look at Crash, Insane Trilogy, and Spyro Reignited. I mean, what would he have to say about that one? Old games remade can sell, mainly due to nostalgia people have for those games. Ukulele was a mixed bag, so I understand where a bit of his fear is coming from. Some loved it, some liked it, and some were disappointed. Look, I for one loved Ukulele. I didn't have major complaints about the game. But what most people weren't a fan of, despite the whole 90s platformer promotion being successor to Banjo Kazooie, people thought the worlds were too big, too empty. Some would have preferred shorter worlds, you know, more worlds, and more filled. A Hat in Time, for example, a smaller Kickstarter, people loved that game. Very positive feedback compared to Ukulele. It does have that collectathon factor, and also interesting more modern mechanics. I think that's what caught people's eye the most. Yuka simply didn't live up to many people's expectations, despite the game being marketed as a successor to Banjo Kazooie. So I can understand Kirkhope in terms of that. You know, a new Banjo game would fall into the same category of Ukulele, in terms of reviews. But sales-wise, I disagree. If ever we get a new Banjo title, I'm not expecting Rare to step in. Plus, they are open to other studios picking up their old IPs. Lastly, yes, I'm aware Amazon Germany leaked something Banjo Kazooie titled. There's this website called Shack News. Apparently an Xbox PR reached out to that website and said it's an error. Some might say, okay, Xbox is just trying to cover it up, but even with that, a new game, it doesn't seem like it. Whatever price you see or date, December 31st, 2019, that's a placeholder. And 2, this product on Amazon which was leaked could be mistaken for Amiibo. All characters from Smash usually get an Amiibo. So I'm gonna have to believe the Xbox PR for this one. I mean, how many years has it been, guys? We haven't received a new Banjo game, it's been years. I mean, we got Crash, we got Spyro, and yet we're waiting for Banjo. All I'm gonna say is, don't get your hopes up. Rumors are always gonna happen, okay? But don't get your hopes up. So with that being said, guys, this is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed me talking about Banjo Kazooie a little, and yeah, as usual, do your stuff, comments, questions, or anything like that, and leave everything in the comment section below. And as always, I've been Vivi, and thank you so much for watching.